Hello and welcome to the Lost Pines Workshop. I'm JC Jensen. So this is How to Finish a Cherry Dresser, Episode 1. To start with, what I have done with the dresser, told you I had to rebuild 2 drawers. So I've taken one of the previous drawers, which is of the same color as the rest of the dresser. On the outside, this outside edge has been hand planed only. And now I've taken the inside edge, I sanded it to 220, used a damp, not wet, rag, dampened the surface to raise the grain, let it dry, and then sanded it again with 220. I think you might be able to see the difference. Nice and shiny, really dull. All right, so that's what we got. All right, so the stain that I have selected is one that was recommended by Tom McLaughlin, and it is from Wood Finishing Enterprise. I'm not going to read you the whole title here because it's rather long, but it is an aniline dye stain. I'll leave a link to this down below. All right, so in accordance with the directions here, I just happen to have a 16-ounce jar. By these directions, it's gradually add 1 ounce while stirring in to 1 pint of hot water. Stir until all dissolved. And then we'll apply it cold. All right, well, that works out for me. For a 16-ounce jar is half a teaspoon for 16 ounces of hot water. So I mixed this up yesterday, I think, maybe 2 days ago. Anyway, it's all mixed up. It's been sitting. It's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is apply the stain to the sanded surface as well as the planed surface to see the difference in absorption and color. And then I'm going to compare this to our existing, or the piece that we intend to keep. All right, so this will be our experiment. Hey, Star, you're supposed to close the door. You're too short to say hi. Sorry. All right, so I got a rag here. I am going to wear gloves. I am notorious for having multicolored fingers doing things in the past. All right, here we go. Oh, I'll put that on really well. So I'm just going to give this a dip. And then give it a rub here. As evenly as possible. Okay. It's a pretty nice color. It looks quite natural. All right, and there's probably enough on here to do this side. So this is the hand planed side. Just really want to see if there's any difference because I've hand planed the fronts of all the drawers as well as the sides and the insides. And if there's no difference in absorption or color, then I don't have to rework those. All right, so that's the sanded side versus the plain side. Now granted, this is still wet, but so I'm going to let this dry overnight and we'll come back tomorrow. Okay, so I let that dry, the stain dry for, I don't know, probably an hour or so. It's water-based. It dried pretty quick. And I went ahead and applied a second coat. And I think you can see. So this is the hand plane side. This is one coat. It was really light. So I went ahead and applied a second coat. And You can tell the difference. All right, on this other side, this was the sanded side. Same thing, 1 coat versus 2 coats. I like the color overall. It's very natural to the cherry. As far as appearance, the hand plane side came out more, I'll say, cleaner. It looks cleaner than the sanded side. The sanded side looks, kind of dull. I'm somewhat concerned that having part of this dresser sanded and part of it planed, I'm going to have this offset color variation. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the next step, which is applying shellac, and we'll just see how it how it turns out. So for that, I am using this Zinsser 100% wax-free shellac. All right, wax-free is what we want, so that it doesn't block any absorption of the oil base or the Danish oil. All right, now when you buy this product of shellac, it comes at a two pound cut, what they say. All right, and that's a little heavy for what we want. Tom's recommending a pound and a half. Well, to achieve a pound and a half cut from a 2 pound cut, we simply dilute it with denatured alcohol at a ratio of 1 part denatured alcohol and 2 parts shellac. So you can figure that out in ounces depending on the size of jar you're going to match. I have an 8-ounce jar. So mathematically, that's 2.6 ounces of denatured alcohol to 5 point whatever of shellac. I'm working with an 8-ounce jar, so that's what I got. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that shellac to both sides of the double stained or twice stained, and we'll let that dry for 45 minutes. I'm going to lightly sand it. I'm going to apply a second coat, and we'll see how it looks. All right, so best open my mix here. Well, maybe. There we go. Now this should be sprayed, right, with whatever type of sprayer. I don't have one, so the can recommends using a synthetic or natural brush, but for the purpose of this test, I am simply going to use Hoover Towel, and I'm going to wipe it on as evenly as possible. All right, and with that denatured alcohol, since we've cut it, it should flash off pretty quick, but we'll give it the full, 45 minutes. Before I mess with it again. Or wet, I'll tell you, it looks really nice. All right. Put that down there for now. Now remember, so I'm working with paper towels and highly flammable chemicals. Remember to dispose of those properly. I've just thrown it on the floor for the moment, but I do have a fire-rated can. All right, it's an airtight rag box, is what I call it, and I'll put it in there until I'm ready to dispose of it. We don't need any spontaneous combustion in our shop. Right on? All right, we'll come back and sand this out Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes. Just grabbed me another piece of 220 here. And I'm just going to very lightly sand this over, take any of the fuzzies off. Didn't have too many because we already dampened it. I'll clean that off. All right, so with one coat, so what we're doing with the shellac is trying to seal off areas of the cherry that may be prone to blotching. On the plain side, it looks really, really good. However, over here on the sanded side, you can see the blotch, right? And that's where the stain absorbed deeper into the wood. It's not at this point, it's not terrible, and you know, we're not going to eliminate it, but we can reduce it so that it's not as prominent when we apply the oil finish. All right, so there's one. I'll go ahead and apply a second coat, same way it did the first. Again, really, really light. All right, sanded side. All right, that's nice and even. Nice and even. All right, so we'll let this dry for 45 minutes and see where we're at. Okay, so the shellac has now been dried for a little over an hour, and we're looking pretty good. All right. Next up is our Danish oil. So, good old Danish oil. Remember, it should be shaken, not stirred. We're going to apply one coat, let it do its thing for about 15 minutes. We'll apply a second coat. And see what happens. Okay, that was the plain side. Nice and even. All right, we'll give this 15 minutes and we'll come back and give it a look. And now for the second coat. Remember, shaken, not stirred. All right, and we'll let that set up. It says it's ready for use in 8 to 10 hours. We're not going to wait that long. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes since I applied the second coat. And so one of my concerns, one of the things I'm trying to discern is color difference between a hand planed surface and a sanded surface. I'm concerned about color variation. Well, now that I've gone all the way through the steps of applying the stain and the shellac and the Danish oil, the colors match, right? So I'm happy. This is going to work really well. The second concern with cherry, and it's a concern for everybody that works with cherry, is blotching. Well, one of the ways that we minimized that was by applying, after we got the stain that applied, we put shellac on, right? So the blotchy is caused by basically ingrained fibers that just kind of randomly appear on the surface of our board material. And the shellac is going to seal that off so that when we apply our oil finish, the oil is not absorbed into those pores. And it does a really nice job. So it's not gonna stop the blotch because obviously we stained it. So we have this, you can see on this one, yeah, you can kind of see there. You can see I have blotch. I've got it. That's just the nature of the cherry. But by applying the shellac before the oil, we've minimized it. We've reduced its effect. So I'm real happy. I'm real happy how this turned out. This is the method that I'm going to continue with. There is another method if you want to eliminate blotch altogether. Another method that you could pursue is to do your sanding, 220, apply shellac to the surface, allow that to cure, and then come back with, say, perhaps a gel stain. Right, a gel stain is it does not penetrate the wood. It simply lays on the top, so it's kind of like paint. It doesn't look natural to me. It does provide a uniform color throughout. That's not my style. I like to be as natural as possible. So this is what I'm going to go. All right. So hey, if you like my videos, please remember to hit that like button. It helps me share this information with more people. We'll see you down the road.